Hello everyone, I'm Captain Logan, and today I'm going to do something I never do. Today I am going to try my hand at action figure reviewing. This is my hand, and I'm going to try it at reviewing an action figure. My wife started a show a few years back now called Objectivity, and she hasn't done one in a very long time. I just got this figure recently and considered doing it on a recommend, just recommending the figure, but I had a few things I wanted to say about it, and I wanted to see how I might do at talking about a physical object. I've never done a review like this before. It's something that I have made people do on Who Reviews the Reviewers, reviewing objects around their house and stuff like that, and I have never really, to my recollection, just done a straight review like this. I've certainly recommended things, action figures and stuff, but usually I say, I don't have a lot to say about this. I just like it. It looks cool. Here's a couple things I like about it, but I don't have a great eye for visual detail. I'm, of course, as a lot of you know, I'm sure, much more of a story guy, and there's not a whole lot of, and by a lot I mean any, narrative devices and character and thematic and plot stuff to really sink my teeth into with an action figure. So today I'm going to talk about Articulation, and I'm going to talk about what this figure looks like and if I think it's worth picking up. So without further ado, let's do it. Let's jump right into it. I'm going to try not to crash and burn. So today I am reviewing the Sara Canary figure. This is a figure that just came out recently, and there's another wave that's going to be coming out soon that I'm really excited about because they put Diggle and Red Arrow Arsenal in that wave. And those look really good. Also, Felicity's there, and she looks absolutely atrocious, but I don't have pictures of them here. I can show you what the figures in this wave look like. We had of course, Arrow, Deathstroke, the Sara Canary that you see there, and then Oliver on the island before he's got his arrow suit with the Deathstroke mask with the arrow through it, which I still, by the way, have no idea exactly how that got there, considering how we finally find out Oliver dispatched of Deathstroke on the island. But anyway, those are the figures there, and I think a couple of them look great, and a couple of them, to me, don't look great, and a lot of that has to do with faces. So this is made by Gentle Giant Studios, and there are a lot of DC figures that are out right now. Here's the front of the box. Of course, I've opened this already. There are a lot of DC figures out right now that are in these kind of boxes. This seems to be what they went to during 52. And I don't know if Gentle Giant made the others. I haven't looked real closely at them because I haven't bought them. But it looks like this is pretty much the same kind of line as a lot of the 52 figures. So anyway, let's go ahead and up close take a good look at Black Canary here. As I said, my issue with these is mostly in faces. They seem to be really good at making characters that are wearing masks. They cover their whole faces. They're not real great at the detail and lightness of and getting it to look as close to the actors as possible on these figures that don't have masks covering their whole faces. So she is better than, I think, the Oliver Queen outside of the costume, although I certainly haven't seen him out of a box, but I've seen him up close and personal. I still think his face looks kind of ridiculous. She looks decent comparatively. Now, I'm not a big fan of her hair. I like all the strands and the detail in her hair being kind of waved around like it's, been in the wind. I think that's really cool, that detail, but I'm not a big fan of the color on it. I think it's weird that we have all these brown kind of highlights in it as if she isn't a real blonde and was just colored that way. I don't know if Sara in that show is supposed to be a natural blonde. I don't really remember. Boy, this is weird. These are not the kinds of things I usually talk about. But it just looks kind of strange, even if that is the case on this figure, to attempt that, if that is indeed what they're going for. I don't know. It has this weird kind of like macaroni and cheese kind of consistency, and I think it's a little bit strange. But the face looks okay. It looks like Katie Lots, although when I first looked at it, I thought this was supposed to be the Laurel Canary, and I'm wondering if that's not maybe a testament to the fact that those actresses actually look a lot closer than I ever really noticed on the show, that maybe there is a little bit of potential family resemblance between them. But anyway, the more I've looked at it, the more I think it does look sufficiently like Katie Lotz. And when I first picked this up, I picked this up at Acme Comics when I was there for the Midwestern Panels tour, and I asked them if they had this figure and if they had the Sara Canary, and they showed it to me, and I was like, oh, I guess she hasn't come out yet. I guess it's just the Laurel. And then I was like, oh wait, that's not Laurel, because there's Sara right there on the box. So this is supposed to be the Sara Canary. And then I looked closer at the costume and realized, oh yes, that's what that is. So anyway, as far as the rest of this goes, superficially, just taking a look at it without actually bending anything and trying to pose it in any way, I think it looks really nice. I like the colorization for the most part. As I said, the hair is a little bit wacky, but beyond that, we don't have the same black or gray running all the way through. There's variation in the color scheme. It's the paint looks nice. I like the sculpt of the body for the most part. Again, until you start really looking at it in the box, it looks great. You get it out though, and there's some weirdness, and a lot of it comes from the way some of it poses. So we'll look at articulation here in a minute beyond this first thing, but I want to show you this before I show you some weirdness with the chest. And I'm going to be delicate with this because I know this is a weird thing to talk about, and I promise you that I am not intentionally trying to only look at the chest area on this figure, regardless of how low cut Sara's top is, but this is a thing that I could not help noticing. So first of all, human anatomy, we simply do not bend this way. This is really odd. So you turn Sara at the top, and this is where the middle twist is. I think that's just really strange looking, and I don't know why that choice was made. What makes it even weirder is if you turn it at all, you'll notice, and I don't know if I can get this on camera, and again, I promise you, I was not looking in this area for a long time on purpose, but I simply tipped it and noticed that. Again, I don't know how well I'm going to be able to show you this on camera, but I noticed that if you look underneath a bit, it's almost as if Sara here is wearing an open bra. And this is kind of supposed to be one piece, and there we go. And you can tell that it's not been painted underneath, so there's this weird kind of flesh-colored business going on underneath, and it's just kind of awkward. So I don't know. That's weird. I'm not a big fan of this. But anyway, so let's look at some more of the articulation. These figures have been criticized some, I've heard, for being a little bit stiff, and they certainly are out of the box. Now, I'm finding that the more I pose it, the less stiff it is, but it still is a little bit strange. Oops. There we are. It is still a little bit strange. So here, I haven't messed with these arms a lot yet, so this is still certainly quite stiff. So here's the elbow, and it moves here. Then you've got rotation here in the wrist. And then it swivels naturally, as you would expect, at the shoulder. Same thing here, of course. There's both arms. The head is a little bit unfortunate. You would expect a ball joint where you can twist a head either all the way around or partially around, and she obviously has a joint there because you can move her head a little bit without forcing it too much, but it doesn't go very far, and that means that it is always tilted toward the right, although that seems to be the side that Katie Lotz kind of favors. I think she does kind of turn her head that way quite a bit, so that's okay. There's just posing it, that's cool, but I do think it's a little bit odd that for a figure that has this much supposed posability, the one thing you can't really do hardly anything with is her head, and I think a lot of that just has to do with her hair and how far up this jacket goes. So it's just very difficult to do really anything but that. So anyway, then we've got that really weird swivel right there at the midsection. Then we don't have any kind of a swivel at all at the hips. Then this moves. And then we'll look at these in a minute because that's a bit problematic. At the bottom, we've got movement here at the ankles. I think it's a little bit weird that we've got ankle movement, but we can't move up here. And we've even got, let's see, the ankle movement, and then we've got a lot of stuff going on at the knees. Okay, so as I've moved this around a little bit, I've gotten this leg really loose, but this leg not loose, and there's one place where this leg actually bends that the other leg kind of doesn't. It's really strange. So I take this, and I can do that, and then let's see here. See if I can show this to you. Okay, so this one bends at kind of here and here. I've actually gotten this to bend farther. But anyway, and then this one bends at the knee, but it barely does that above it. Okay, I guess I was wrong about which side it is. It's actually, this is the stiffer one and this is the looser one. I don't know why your knee would even really do anything up there. I think maybe the idea is that that's actually supposed to swivel there. Let me see. I can't, yeah. I don't know what that's about. I just think that's really kind of strange. And so anyway, there's a couple of different joints here at the knee. People have kind of complained that these are overly articulated but stiff, and I would have to overall agree with that assessment, although if we're going to have this much articulation, there are a couple places I think it would be nice to have more articulation, especially, as I said, at the waist area and this head. And I kind of wonder if that's a problem with the other figures or if it's just because she's got too much hair and too much jacket at the top. Anyway, overall, I think she looks really great. I think you'd want to just pose her on a shelf and set her up somewhere, and she's going to be fine. She stands really well here on my little makeshift set here. You saw her standing at the beginning. She definitely stands better than this. We're just on a little bit of an incline here. But anyway, you know, you get her posed on a shelf, and she looks pretty great. Once you start actually trying to mess with her and do stuff with her, it's not. I don't know. I'm not as impressed with it. I don't know that it's worth the that it's worth the $25 as far as, I mean, to just display. I think it certainly is, but it leaves a little bit to be desired. And then let's take a look real quick at the accessories. Here is her staff. The staff she can hold in this hand that's just got kind of your standard hole where the fingers meet, and it goes down to about there. On the box, it's got her kind of holding it with two hands. I don't find that especially feasible because this thumb is, you know, open in case you were going to fire a gun or something. I always think that's weird too, that you wouldn't. This happens with a lot of action figures. I always think it's weird when figures aren't made with their hands specifically to hold the objects that they come with. You know, you'd think that as you're making a figure, you would know what they come with, and then you would sculpt that accordingly. This, not so much. I'm not real sure what I'm supposed to do with the second hand. And as I said, on the box, she's posed holding both. But I guess the way they've done that is they've had it. Oh, wait, no, now that I'm looking at it, I think it actually goes right past her hand. Let me look here. Yeah, it goes right past her hand. Okay, never mind. She's not holding it that way. Yep, she's just holding it with one. Okay, so we've got a two-handed weapon that she's holding with one hand, and that's about all she can do with it. Okay, that's fine. And then, but she's able to hold that just fine, no problem. And again, that would look pretty good on a shelf if you posed it. And then the other thing she comes with, you've got to have naturally your super easy to lose piece, and it might be kind of tough to show it to you, but here is her canary cry bomb that she throws, and it makes a kind of a sonic scream, and it looks pretty good. It's to scale, it's accurate to the show. I think that's kind of neat. Can she hold it? Probably barely or not at all. Oh wow, she kind of can. Okay, that's pretty cool. I actually didn't think that I was going to be able to even make that work. So yeah, it looks good. So you can pose that. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it as far as, again, just displaying it. Some of the choices in articulation are a little bit weird. That thing at the torso is bizarre. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with how much it looks like her, especially the more I've looked at it. And I'll definitely recommend this for folks that really like this character and for Arrow fans. And in the meantime, thanks a lot for watching. Leave your comments. If you'd like me to do any more of these, let me know. I don't know if I am the right person to review action figures, but I thought I would try my hands at it. And in the meantime, I will see you again with lots more content this week. I'm Captain Logan. Thanks a lot for watching.